Wolf Story, Chapter 3. The next day was Sunday, and at breakfast the man said to the boy, "Shall we go on an excursion today?" "Yes!" cried the boy. "To Central Park?" said the man. "Fort Tryon Park!" cried the boy. "But that is so far away," said the man. "And let's take Steffi," said the boy. Steffi's real name was Stefan, and he lived next door. He was a year older than Michael. "All right," said the man. "We could have lunch up there." "Do you mind if we have lunch in the park?" said the boy's father to the boy's mother. "Would you mind not having to fix lunch for us?" "Oh, that would be terrible," said the boy's mother. "If I don't have to fix lunch for you, I will be forced to go back to bed and read the Sunday papers." Soon, the man and the two boys were driving along the West Side Highway toward Fort Tryon Park. The boys could see freighters, tankers, ferry boats, and other crafts in the Hudson River. "Enemy battleships!" the boys cried and raked them with fire from their wooden rifles. Sometimes the man had to speak sternly to the boys, saying, "Boys, sit down. Stop waving those rifles around. Do you want to knock my front teeth out?" The boys were very well behaved, and every time the man spoke sternly to them, they would stop waving the rifles around, for a few seconds anyway. When they came to Fort Tryon Park, they parked the car near the entrance. "Let's see if our treasure is still there," said Michael. "Let's see if my front teeth are still there," said his father. "What treasure?" said Stefan. "Come on," said Michael. "I'll show you." They walked down some stone steps and along a walk until they came to a broken-down fence. Beyond the fence was a very steep hill, so steep that the trees had to hold on by their bare roots to keep from slipping. In a hole at the base of one of those trees, Michael and his father had hidden a rusty old paper punch several weeks before. They scrambled down the hill until they found the tree, and sure enough, the paper punch was still there. A little rustier, perhaps, in fact, ready to fall apart, but still there. They put it back in the same hiding place and then worked their way carefully down the hill, through a high arched tunnel and up to a big green playfield where the boys chased each other until lunchtime. After lunch in the park restaurant, they sat on a bench eating Cracker Jack. Michael was disappointed because the prize in his Cracker Jack box was just a piece of cardboard with numbers on it, a silly game of some kind. And Steffi's prize was a beautiful bright green cardboard monkey. Michael asked for another box of Cracker Jacks, hoping that this time he might get a prize like Steffi's. But his father said no. "The prize you get in a Cracker Jack box is a matter of luck," said Michael's father. "What's luck?" said Michael. "Something that happens and you have to be satisfied with." There were tears in Michael's eyes. "Damn it," he said. "You mean darn it," said his father. "Is damn a bad word?" said Michael, rather eagerly. "No," said his father, "but it is more a word for grown-ups. A boy your age could say, 'Darn it.'" "Darn it," said Michael. "Darn it, darn it, darn. Steffi, would you give me your monkey? I'll be your best friend." Stefan shook his head. "You're already my best friend," he said. Michael walked sadly away from the bench toward a big wire wastebasket at the edge of the walk. He looked into the wastebasket. Suddenly, he shouted, "Daddy, come here, quick, Daddy!" There, in the wastebasket, was a beautiful bright green cardboard monkey, exactly like Stefan's. Someone had thrown it away. It was not dirty, not folded even. The man took it out of the basket and gave it to his son, and now both boys were happy. "What about taking a rest?" said the man. "You could lie down on the bench for a while." "Tell a story," said Michael. "Tell about Rainbow and the wolf." So, after explaining to Stefan what had happened so far in the story, the man continued. "When Waldo the wolf saw Rainbow the hen asleep in the hen house, he grabbed her in his teeth and ran out across the chicken yard and down into the tunnel and under the fence and into the forest." "Tell Steffi how sharp the wolf's teeth were," said Michael. "Sharp as butcher knives, Steffi." "And not very clean," added Michael's father. "Wolves do not brush their teeth." "I do," said Stefan. "Go on, Daddy," said Michael. "Well, as the wolf carried her from the hen house, Rainbow let out a loud, frightened cackle. This woke up some of the other hens, and they cackled. "Did it wake up Mr. Tractor Wheel?" said Michael. "I don't know," said the man. "Did it?" "Make it that it didn't," said Stefan. "Right," said Michael. So the man went on, saying, "Waldo carried Rainbow to his den deep in the dark forest, and there he ate her, and that is the end of the story. Now, let's be quiet for a while." "No!" shouted Michael and Stefan. "He didn't eat her yet," said Michael. Stefan looked disappointed. "Okay," said the man. "He didn't eat her." "Then tell some more, Daddy," said Michael. "No, you boys are sleepy." "We are not," cried the boys. "No," said Michael's daddy. "Well, I am. If you'll be quiet for a few minutes, I'll tell you some more on the way home." The boys closed their eyes and pretended to be asleep. In a moment, there was the sound of snoring. Was Michael asleep? No. Stefan? No. Michael's father was asleep. The